You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
Feeling fresh as hell.
Well, you guys better enjoy it. The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Do this together. Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hello again, all you beautiful people, and welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddy in the ether, Kev Huggin Duggan.
I wish I could be there on video, but I am yet again stuck in the abyss of Romania.
Internet is a
here's my
bitch,
voice.
folks. Let's not forget Kyle the Coach Duggan.
What's up, guys?
All right, gang. Well, we didn't get a chance to talk about this on the last episode, but it is this last Monday was the 10-year anniversary of the passing of the late, great Junior Seau. I can't believe it's already been 10 years. That is...
I couldn't believe when I saw that it had been 10 years. It doesn't feel like that long ago. I mean, I feel like I was still watching him play less than 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, he's what got me into football and into Charger football, and he was an icon in San Diego.
Oh, yeah,
so it's still sad to think that he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
And he was like the big reason, I got going into Pop Warner football, man. Like that,
Yeah.
like the reason I played football had a lot to do with him and watching him play and getting excited. So I just, such a sad thing that he's gone. I wish he was here and he could see kind of what the Chargers have become and be a part of like all the alumni stuff and all that. And that would be so awesome, but it's just not the way.
It would be. Yeah. He was the reason, not just for you, but I think a lot of people that, started becoming fans of the Charger football in the same way that Justin Herbert is right now. He was just that type of a personality. Obviously made a huge impact on San Diego and the community. So it's been 10 years, unfortunately. So it's good time to remember Junior Seau. A sad way to start the show. I'm sorry, guys.
Let's build it back up.
Let's build it back up. There's a guy that is on the Charger roster. I completely missed this. I didn't even see this happen. But there's a guy on the Charger roster. Who is this guy, Kyle?
So Jamal Davis, he's a pass rush guy that played in the Canadian Football League. Originally played in Akron, didn't get drafted, went to the Canadian Football League. We picked him up pretty quick after the season ended. We signed him to a deal. But man, I just recently started following this superhuman on Instagram, and holy smokes, is he just a specimen? He's like a Clydesdale in the form of a human.
Well, let's for those of you that are watching video, let's take a look at this Clydesdale of a human. Goodness gracious.
Look at his calf. His
Holy
calf is the
shit.
size of my head.
That is,
Dude, it's Saquon
massive.
Barkley, dude. This is like a bigger Saquon Barkley.
Good God. How did you have how tall he was?
Oh, let me find out. I can find it pretty
I feel
quick.
like he's
But
6'3".
if you're not watching the video, his his user ID on Instagram, that's not his handle, is Jamal Davis II. Jamal Davis 11II. Man, he is absolutely insane. I don't.
Good God.
It's crazy to look at. I can't believe human beings get that big.
Yeah. And this is a guy, hey, we need pass rushers, right?
Yeah.
Well, we just grabbed somebody from the Canadian Football League that looks like a war horse. So let's see what he can do.
Jesus.
He's 6'4", 250. Is what
Oh my God. You might have to recheck the weight after that. Might be old numbers. He's like 275. Just his legs are 100 pounds a piece.
Yeah. He's a monster, man.
Not an ounce of fat on this guy. Like, oh my God.
So
He's just
if
all
you're
muscle.
if you're upset about us missing out on an edge rusher in the draft, just go take a look at this guy because he's pretty scary to look at. Yeah,
This behemoth.
Who knows? Might make you feel better.
God bless. All right. Well, something to look forward to, folks. And if you want to look forward online, go on over to chargerchat.com. Check out some of the sweet stuff we've got over there. T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers. And, if you guys get something from the website, it really does help us out. remunerate the cost of what it takes to run a podcast like this, because I promise you, none of it's going in our pockets. It is going right back into the podcast. So if you feel so inclined to pick something up, it really does help us out. And there's also the members section where you can chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers and ask questions and Ask Bowl fam. So go check it out, chargerchat.com. All right, well, now it's time to go on to the next segment. It is Bolt Insight, and let's see who was behind door number 1.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with another Bolt Insight, and we are super lucky to have James from Philadelphia. What is going on, James?
Hey, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to chat with you finally. You know, you were so kind in sending us a video from the draft. You were the man at the draft. So tell us what your experience was like at the draft this year.
So, this year was a little bit special for me. Again, I've been going to the draft for a long time, exactly 25 years. So, I had a chance to, really connect with the Chargers. They make it special for me every year. So, obviously, it was in Vegas and we were down, and, this is really the first time where we had so many Charger fans at the draft. Normally, the draft is basically on the East Coast, the Northeast, New York, Philly, Chicago. So there aren't that many Charger fans. This year was different. So you could tell, like, just watching on TV and me walking around the NFL experience and being in the draft, we were loaded with fans. So it felt amazing. Being in that environment inside the theater was very loud. It's like they kicked the music up like 2 times the level this year. It was incredible. I mean, you might have heard it on TV.
Oh, for sure.
When I made that video for you, and you could tell with the music in the background, I'm yelling. My voice is really high. So I'm trying to talk to you and connect. And I had Jim Mills sitting on my left side, and we were talking. But even her and I talking, we were talking loud. So, but overall, it was amazing. So a chance to meet with the commissioner, Roger Goodell, again, and several players. I had the opportunity to meet Austin Eckler, and the Chargers in the National Football League did a little something special. I'm pretty sure you guys saw that where I was on stage for the announcement for the Chiefs Chargers Thursday night opening game. So that was pretty cool. So I had a chance to be backstage with Roger Goodell, Tony Gonzalez, and Austin Eckler. And quick story, they basically they didn't tell me exactly what was going to be happening until we got backstage. So I'm with this Chiefs fan, really nice guy named Ben. So we're there and we're looking puzzled. Why are we back here? So one person walks up to us and they start telling us what was going on. So here's the deal. We're going to announce that the new Thursday night game is going to be Chargers Chiefs, but you guys are going to be on stage. You're going to be with Tony Gonzalez, Austin Eckler, and Commissioner. So we're like, really? So this is going to be actually happening. And the next thing you know, we're literally minutes away and we're with these guys and they're talking to us and they're chatting with us. And we both looked at each other. We're like, this is actually happening. So the next thing you know, they usher us out on stage. And we're just like, you can see, like, it's thousands of people. If you ever get the opportunity to do it, just looking at, especially on day one, you see nothing but people, lights, camera. And the next thing you know, like, the phone is blowing up and, my friends are hitting me up. Why are you on TV again? So, but no, it's an amazing thing. It's 3 days of fun. It's a long day, a long 3 days, but overall, it's pretty cool. I had a great time.
That was wonderful. And we saw, you got to basically give Zion a hug right after he was picked, and you gave him something a little special. He was rocking there for a little bit. What did you end up giving him?
So I had, you have to see a lot of fans with the Charger chains. I got the dog chains with the lightning bolt on it. So I was planning on doing that anyway. I wanted to do that last year. I didn't get the opportunity because I was up on stage for the third round pick. But usually when the players get drafted, whoever's there, they come down to the inner circle where their fans are. So I was going to do it anyway. I was going to give him my chain, put it on, and celebrate. Now, when he came down, I took the chain off, put it over his neck, and we both went ballistic. And one of the Charger social media people recorded it. Now, I didn't know they did that. But we just went, had a ball, and we went crazy and stuff like that. We're hugging, we, get the fist pound. And the next thing you know, like on social media, I'm on ESPN. It was nuts. And I met Chris Hayre, who does a lot of the Chargers podcast.
Yeah, we love Chris.
And he interviewed Zion Johnson later that night, and he told me, "Wait a minute, that was your dog, James." So the next thing you know, it's on IG, Twitter. It got crazy. It was again fun, unbelievably fun.
What a wonderful experience. And it's so cool you've done it, got to do it so many years and represent us and help with the picks. And I want to know a little bit more because you work for the Philadelphia Eagles, correct?
Yes.
So tell me, like, how did you become a Charger fan? And you're working for the Eagles. How does that all work?
All right. Well, first, let me give you the Eagles part. So I kind of work in sports industry. And I started working in the industry in about 2015. I was working in hospitality for about 30 years. I was a restaurant manager for about 25 years. And, it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to make a little bit of a transition. So a buddy of mine, he hooked me up with a job. I started working for the Philadelphia Union soccer team in 2015. I just kind of started from the bottom and did that for a couple of years. And next thing you know, I applied for the Philadelphia Eagles and I kind of used my skill set, my background, and I got the job in 2017.
Awesome. That's
the year they won the Super Bowl. And as I kind of showed you a little earlier, I won that right there.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
So I got that right there. And so my job with the Eagles is I work in their fan experiences department. So I do a lot of customer service, hospitality. I'm kind of like their problem solver. So whenever a fan has an issue on game day, I'm their guy who goes and fixes your issue. So let's say if you have a jersey that got messed up, I have the autonomy of taking you to our pro shop and, replacing your jersey for free or
awesome.
Just fixing whatever issue. So I'm that guy. And I do, a couple other things. I work like training camp, mini camp, their OTAs and stuff like that. So I get to be around a lot of the players and the coaches as well. Now, to answer your second question, how did I become a fan? This is going to be quite interesting. I'll give you the short version.
Okay.
I got introduced to football by my grandfather, who I loved tremendously when I was a kid, 5 years old, 1973. So, I kind of picked up on football really fast, and he was an Eagles fan. But truth be told, they were not a really good team. In 73, they really weren't. They didn't have a coach, didn't have a quarterback, and they were just losing, just getting blown out every single game. So when that happened, he would get upset, get out of his favorite chair, and walk away. Now, that hurt me. I wasn't hurt by the team. I was hurt because my grandfather was hurt because the Eagles were losing. So it was hard for me to be a fan of the team. We watched one game, they lost. And then the next game on TV was the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were defending Super Bowl champions, versus the San Diego Chargers. Now, their starting quarterback at the time was Johnny Unitas, who, was early 40s, two bad knees, didn't move around a lot, and they were taking a beating in the first half. Unitas gets pulled, and they stick in Dan Fouts. His very first game, 1973, third-round pick. He came in through 4 touchdown passes, and I'm thinking, that's my guy. 5 years old, and that's how I became a Charger fan. So Dan Fouts is the reason I wear the lightning bolts right there. So I've been rocking ever since. I'm ride or die, got the tat in my arm right here, and I haven't looked back since.
I love it, man. That's so cool. You've seen that happen twice now. Dan Fouts coming in to replace, and then you saw Justin Herbert coming in to replace. We'll wrap it up with this, like, your excitement for who we picked and Justin Herbert and this team moving forward this year.
I tell you what, I'm thrilled. The possibilities right now are endless. I mean, there is an excitement and there's a buzz in Los Angeles, but just for fans as well. You can sense that something good is happening. You can sense that something good is leading towards the ultimate goal, and that's to get one of these.
Yep.
All right. And I've been talking about it, and I know many of my friends have been talking about it. And I have friends here in Philadelphia who says your team is looking pretty darn good right now. You should be real thrilled. And I tell you what, if the defense comes together, because this is what I've been focused on since day one, since Brandon Staley became head coach. I love offense, but I am a defensive guy. I love defense. I look back at that Steel Curtain, those great teams, the Purple People Eaters. You could tell how old I am now. I'm naming teams back in the 70s. So,
good old days.
Even back, the good old days. But I love defense, and this is something I've been banking on. Right now, is that Brandon Staley is going to turn this defense around. I'm looking for a top 10 defense from this Chargers team this year. You give me a top 10 defense, we're winning the Super Bowl. I'm telling you that right now.
I love it. I could not agree with you more. Like what Justin's been able to do with defense that hasn't been playing that well last few years. Give him a little support. Who knows what this team can be?
I tell you what, they made it their mission to add a solid running game, an aggressive, big offensive line. The middle of that offensive line is a beautiful thing.
Monsters.
I mean, like I said, I love what they've done. The same thing they've added to the defensive line. He's made it a point, Brandon Staley, to add. He's building offensive and defensive line. This is the smartest thing I've seen a coach do, and he's made a commitment to it. So fans could talk about getting a speedy wide receiver. They didn't do that. That's okay. You could talk about this or that. Build up front. This is how you win championships. Build up front. All right. Be able to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, protect your quarterback, and go after the quarterback on defense. Win on defense. Defense means championships.
I love it. I'm so in on that. And lastly, just want to thank you so much for representing us, wearing our Charger Chat shirt at the draft. That meant the world to us. So can't tell you how much we appreciate that.
I'll tell you what, I really got to thank you guys. You guys have been supportive of me, since day one. And you guys sent me the t-shirt, and I made it a mission that I was like, I'm going to wear that shirt at the draft, and I got right to the stage. And, just like I said, fans were basically getting their photos. Like, I got to make that happen. So if you could tell by the photo, I'm underneath the podium where Roger Goodell is now the picks. So I had to get the photo right there, which I was able to pull off. So thank you guys. I really appreciate everything. I really do.
Likewise, man. Likewise. And let's do this again. Love to chat with you more. And, we'll see. This is an exciting season. So we're definitely going to have some things to talk about.
Absolutely. Hey, tell the guys I said hi. And like you said, we'll stay connected and start getting ready for the draft in KC.
Let's do it, man. I'm ready. All right, man. We'll have an awesome one. Thank you so much again for your time.
Hey, dude. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. It was a great time talking to you.
Appreciate it, man.
James, that 100% put the biggest smile on all our faces, seeing you wearing the Charger Chat shirt at the 2022 draft.
So cool.
Like, that is so wild. And what a freaking story, like working for the Eagles, but fan of the Chargers. Like,
you got that. That's why you get that tattoo, is so you can put on the Eagles merch, but you know what's what.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Deep down,
And I can't believe how many drafts he's been to. That's insane. That is so many.
And he's
drafts.
already prepping.
He's already prepping for the next draft. Like, see you in Kansas City. Bye. Like, just skipping over the entire season, like already planning for the draft. That is, and the other thing too that I think is awesome. So he gave Zion Johnson that chain. There's a video now. If you folks haven't checked it out yet, go check it out.
He's refusing to take it off.
It is Zion Johnson's basically first 24 hours as a Charger, which is it's a fascinating bit of video because you see all the behind the scenes. Like, he's just going from like interview to photo shoot to interview to photo shoot.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to take this chain off. Like, throughout the entire process, like, can I keep this on? Is that okay? And there's like, yeah. So, dude, James, you get to
pretty cool.
You get to watch that video over and over and go like, I gave that to him.
Yeah,
hero moment for sure.
James
Ebo. You handed him the Thor hammer, and he took it with him.
It is so awesome. So, dude, thank you for not just repping the shirt, but thank you for coming on and chatting with my man Kev. I really appreciate it. All right, well, now it's time to go on to the Craig Experience, and I think he's going to be talking a bit about one of our newest drafted players. It might be a running back, it might not. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's go to Craig.
May or may not.
Craig.
Come on in, man. Kick your feet up.
Oh.
Craig Experience.
Hello there.
Make yourself at home. Got some stuff to talk about, right? Moving on. Okay, so with the 3-day party in Vegas having ended nearly a week ago, you guys should have had ample time to digest it all, take it in, do some research on the players, come to a conclusion about how you feel in regards to the draft, and by now you're probably pretty settled one way or another. But you know your boy's got his feelings about it, so let's get into it. But of course, first, where my manners, CC gang. The biggest of salutes, and to the rest of the boat fam, what is going on? It's your guy Craig in Texas, and welcome to another edition of the Craig Experience. Let's go. Okay, you've gotten a bunch of draft analysis all week long. I'm sure that you've heard pretty much every take, every single way possible, and that's great. The more content, the better. But I won't bog you down in pick by pick analysis. That's not what this is about. Really, I kind of want to touch on two guys, really one in particular, but make mention of another. James Ebo out of Georgia going in the 6th round is a travesty. It's good news for the Chargers, and I don't think they expected that to be the case at all. What it absolutely does is give you an opportunity to solidify your offensive line, kind of solve problems that I don't think they thought they were going to be able to do at that point. Sawyer played up and down the line at Georgia, played some tackle for the national championship team. I think he played tackle in the national championship game. Don't quote me on that. I got to double check, but I do know that he did man, I think both tackle positions at some point during his career, during the season, I think last year at Georgia. He's better suited for the guard position, even though he has like freakishly long arms. He is a stubby dude. He's not overly athletic, which I know you could say that Filer isn't either, but Filer already has experience at right tackle and has proven he can do it. So maybe they give Sawyer a crack at right tackle in camp. Who knows? But I think he's probably best suited to play guard because, again, if you do that, you can fix your right tackle problem by moving Filer over to right tackle. I know we've been hearing stuff about Trey Pipkins and his work with Duke Manyweather and Rashawn Slater in the offseason, and Duke's been praising him. But, not to say Duke's lying at all. I mean, it is in his best interest to, big that man up because it helps his business. We saw some improvement from Pipkins last year, so I'm not opposed to him getting a shot, seeing how he performs in camp, and they've got options at this point, which is good. So we're not going to be in a position where we're completely handcuffed to a dude and searching for answers at the beginning of the season, into the season. I don't think that's an issue anymore. But the cat that I really want to talk about is the one who's the most polarizing. And depending on who you talk to, what day you talk to him, they either love or absolutely hate the pick. Let me tell you. Oh, I'm sorry. In case you didn't know, it's Isaiah Spiller, running back out of Texas A&M. Now, my initial reaction, because I was at my kid's football game when it dropped, Calvin Austin was sitting right there, so that's who I wanted. But we know why it worked out that way. Spiller was not supposed to be available in the 4th round. It's another dude who fell farther than what he was supposed to. He was a consensus top 3 running back. And again, depending on who you talk to, some dudes number 1 or number 2, but he was pretty much in the top 3, regardless of who you spoke with. Initially, I was kind of thrown off by it because I saw the value in other backs later in the draft, and I just didn't expect them to use anything before round 5 on a running back. As I thought about it a little bit more, it makes perfect sense when you look at the style of runner he is, and then you realize what he accomplished, where he accomplished, and what he had to work with to get those things accomplished. SEC running back who went for over 1,000 yards every year except for his freshman year. And another key about this is that he never carried the ball over 188 times in any season. There's a reason for that. I might talk about that later on down the line. But he did share carries, which means he's fresh. In September, when the season starts, he will be the youngest back in the NFL. So think about that for a second. He's nowhere near his ceiling. Now, the knock is that he doesn't have tremendous long speed. And I'll put it to you this way. Some of the best football players I've ever played with or watched aren't always the fastest guys on the field. I'll tell you what he has that does work very, very well for this scheme and inside and outside zone stuff. He's got tremendous burst. He's got great vision and probably the best feet in the entire draft class at the position. If you go and look at some video of him, I mean, not everybody's a huge tape person like me. I will watch entire games of his. I mean, of course, fast forward through some stuff here and there to kind of have it go by a little bit quicker. But if you just want to do some highlights, feel free. Watch him break dudes off at the line of scrimmage, at the second level, and watch him a few times get out for over 50 plus yards on TDs. Now, is he walking away from people? Not the farther down the field he goes, but within that first 10 to 15 yards, he's scooting. And then you got to play catch up. And if there's not enough field for you to make up ground, then he's going to take it to the house. More than enough speed for me. The biggest thing is body type of running style. I consider him what I would call a tough slasher because he finishes runs. More often than not, he's plowing through someone as opposed to getting knocked back, which is saying a lot if you watch Texas A&M's offensive line last year because it was not great. Dude was squeezing as much blood out of that turnip as he could get. And props for that because it was ugly back there. And again, he was splitting carries, 2 other backs, and still rushed for over 1,000 yards. It's just really impressive what he was able to accomplish based on what he was working with. And the fact that he did it in literally the toughest conference in all of college football in the SEC. Perfect compliment to Austin Ekeler. And he's probably going to be more of a 1B as opposed to an RB2. Think about what this means for he and Austin Ekeler. If you can get them on the field at the same time, you can keep the wear and tear off of Ekeler by having him pound the rock. Even though he's an extremely strong human being for his size, it's not what his body type is meant for. And then you can use Ekeler in more of like that Alvin Kamara role, like Alvin Kamara and the Saints, being that this is what the offense is based off of, or that playbook, should I say. You'll probably see Ekeler split out a bunch more. You might see both of them in the backfield, at least to start, someone motion out, which, by the way, is not a dead giveaway of what's going to happen. Because Spiller's actually a very capable receiver out of the backfield. And also a pretty decent pass protector to boot, which is saying something about a college running back because that's not necessarily their calling card coming out. There's just not a ton of time that they can spend perfecting that part of their craft during the season. Folks, telling you now, you're probably going to feel very differently about this pick in a year or two. I don't really like doing player comps because, people just assume that saying that this player is like that one is you saying that's who they're going to be. Not saying that at all. Just talking from a stylistic standpoint and just some of the same attributes. He's very similar to an Arian Foster, Le'Veon Bell type. When we're talking patience, ability to plant his foot and get upfield in zone concepts, making people miss. And the other thing, neither one of those gentlemen were known for their speed. Something to keep in mind. But figure I'll leave you with that to think about. Maybe go back and have a look at the dude. If you're not feeling that great about it, these things in mind, possibly you'll come away with a different outlook. But I won't hold you up any longer. Y'all know what it is. It is Mr. Volgang or Do Not Bang, Mr. TOP_FLYT3 on Twitter. And catch me on my YouTube page, Flight Deck, Charges to the Game, every other week or so, depending on how things go. But I'll keep you guys up to date on Twitter, so no worries about it. Appreciate you for the support. Until next time, be good, folks. Guys, take it easy. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Another great Craig experience in the books. Appreciate it, Craig. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Go look at Jamal Davis's Instagram. I'm still scared just thinking about somebody having to line up against that guy.
It's worth your while, for sure.
It makes not getting Jordan Davis just a little less hurtful. Knowing that we've got.
See, but you don't even realize that some of these guys on this roster, we don't see them. They're just in the locker room getting monstrous.
Hey, Forrest Merrill's still on the squad too, and he's a fan favorite.
Amen.
That's right,
brother.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.